What is happening, Uncle Puckers? Chris here. And we are going to go over on our little power play episode today the Devil game tonight against the Washington Capitals. Last night, the Devils went into the Bell Center in Montreal. They knocked off a nice 5-2 win on the backs of Jack Hughes and Tyler Toffoli, who had the hat trick. We're going to get more into that on Thursday's Uncle Pucker show with the boys, so we will talk in depth about that game. We'll talk in depth about the game tonight against Washington, who also played last night and fell to the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-1. Had to double check that score. These little power play keys to the game are brought to you by Used to Be's Island Eatery, 287 Route 35 in Manalocan. They have fantastic food, live entertainment, great entrees, delicious pizza, great big bar, lots of TVs around. You can check out all your NHL, NFL games at Used to Be's. Just go to usedtobes.com for a list of their weekly events and for their lunch and dinner specials. That's usedtobes.com. Used to Be's Island Eatery, 287 Route 35 North, Manalocan. Check them out. All right, let's get to it. Devils last night, they go into the Bell Center. They head up north of the border and they beat Montreal. That's great. Second road win of the year. They come back home. Tonight's game, 7:30 start, national game on TNT at the Rock. Washington comes into this game 1-3-1. New Jersey comes into this game 3-1-1. Washington is not playing very good. But last season, we played them game 6. It was a 6-3 loss. Just for perspective, that was on October 24th. The next time the Devils lost last season was game 20. No, I'm sorry. November 23rd. So they lost to the Capitals on October 24th, and then almost a full month later was their next loss. That's right. This was the last loss between the 13-game winning streak, sandwiched in between Toronto and Washington losses. The Toronto loss still stings, but we'll get into that when we play Toronto down the road. So last season, game 6, we lost to them 6-3. Game 22, we beat them 5-1. Game 64 was a shootout Devil win. It's early. 3-2. And then game 82, you remember this one, was a 5-4 overtime win for the Devils. That was Luke Hughes' first ever goal in the NHL. So we beat them 3 out of 4, but they weren't close. One of the games they kicked our ass. One of the games we kicked their ass. The other two took extra time for us to beat them. Even though this is not a good Washington Capital team, this is a veteran team, and they know what people are saying about them. They know that people are calling them done, they're cooked, they're old, they're slow, they're not going to make the playoffs. Those guys in that locker room are looking at tonight as their get-right game. They're looking at New Jersey and saying, this is one of the top teams in the league, and maybe we can kickstart our season if we can go in there and get a dub. Devils can't let that happen. It's going to be Akira Schmid in goal. Not quite sure. I think Darcy Kemper played last night for Washington's. I don't even know who they would be putting in. I don't follow them, so I don't really know who their backup is right off the top of my head. I guess I could have done that research, but like I said, it's 6:45 in the morning, and it was a long night. A lot of hockey last night. The Frozen Frenzy was a lot of fun. Something else that we're going to get into on tomorrow's show. So look, man, keys to the game. I think the biggest one for us is Akira Schmid. He hasn't looked great. We know he'll be in net tonight. Akira Schmid's got to, I want to see him look like Akira Schmid. I want to see him look like the guy that, played really well for us last season, the guy that came in that Ranger series and did what he did. But like I said, this is kind of, I don't want to call it a trap game. It is still very early in the season. But look, this is a home game. Devils are coming off in a huge win in Montreal where they played really well, except for maybe the first 10 minutes or so of the first period. There were some parts where Montreal was kind of taking the play to New Jersey, but that's to be expected. My point is, play fast, play smart. This is everything that I just said that Washington hears what people are saying about them, that they're old, that they're slow, that they're cooked, that they're done. It's all true. So there's no reason at all that the Devils shouldn't be able to go into come into this game and just use their speed and their skill and put up a big dub. Toronto got 4 past their starting goalie last night. But then again, we also saw how basically a third stringer last night in Montreal played really well and kept them in that game for a while. So it's no certainty just because you have a backup in there that you're going to be able to light them up. But I want to see Akira Schmid have a nice, steady game. Um, I want to see the Devils again start fast. All right. Those first 10 minutes of the first period, it seems like it just takes a little while to warm up the engine. But once they get rolling, I mean, once this car gets heated up, it is a really, really fast car, and it's really fun to drive. So I'd like to see them just come out of the gate, start fast, build off the momentum from last night. They did a lot of good things last night. Keep it rolling. Jack has been phenomenal this season. I mean, I know that the Devils are only 5 games in, but holy shit, has he been a treat to watch so far? So keep it up. I like the line combinations right now. It was really nice. Last night, we talked a little bit about one of the keys to that game last night was for guys like Nico Hischier to get on the board. He did. He got a goal. Also, Alex Holtz got his first goal. That's great. Now let's see Dawson Mercer pitch in. I want to see Michael McLeod get a little bit more offense. I want to see Timo Meyer start netting the puck. So basically, what's the major key to tonight's game? Just keep doing what you're doing. I think tonight's biggest question mark is Akira Schmid. We talked a little bit. He's looked a little bit shaky in his 2 starts so far. This is a big game. So I'd like to see Akira Schmid come in, shut out everything else around him, and maybe even shut out the Washington Capitals. No, I'm not calling for a shutout, but I do want to see him play well. But like I said, don't take this team for granted. That's the other big thing for the Devils tonight. Everybody knows that Washington is a bad team, and nobody likes to be a bad team. And one of the things that could maybe flip that perception of you or actually flip the culture in that locker room is a big win against a really good team. So let's do that. Let's not let that happen. Let's shut that down and let Washington continue on their pathetic little pace. Washington Capitals have been really good for really long, and the Devils have been really bad for really long. That script has been flipped a little bit. So that's fantastic. Let's keep it that way. They had their time. They won a cup. Now it's our turn. So, come out fast, come out strong, do what you did yesterday. Um, Akira Schmid, this one's on you, buddy. So go out there, have a good game. Make Devil fans feel a lot more comfortable about the backup position because I thought Vitek Vanacek played really, really well last night against the Habs. So now, if we can get a 1-2 punch, where if Schmid starts playing up to that level that he showed last year, especially in the playoffs, I think the Devils will have one of the best tandems in the NHL. So tonight's a good starting point for that. Let's get off to a good game. Anybody going to the game, please tweet us some pictures. Let us know what's going on there. You can reach us, of course, Uncle Puckers on X or Twitter, whatever, unclepuckers@gmail.com. We're always super happy to hear from our fans. Our listeners or our haters, whatever. You like us, subscribe. That'd be fantastic. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, like I said, punch the like, hit the subscribe, check us out. We will be putting a new show up tomorrow, and we will be covering in depth the Montreal game and tonight's Washington game and probably a bunch of other nonsense. So on behalf of the rest of the boys on the Puckers, I'm Chris, and we'll see you tomorrow. Let's go Devils.